Hey, it's Jared here. I've been wanting to do a video sharing how I learned Chinese for a while now. So today, that is what we're gonna talk about, how I learned Mandarin Chinese. Hopefully this video will be helpful. All right, let's start. Learn to listen first before you talk. Okay, so let's pretend there's a new language called blah blah, and I wanna learn how to speak blah blah, but I don't know how to speak blah blah. So I try to learn how to speak first or to understand first. Neither. You gotta listen first so that you can understand. How are you supposed to learn how to talk if you don't even know what the language sounds like? Do you know what I mean? One of the things I really tried to focus on when I started learning Chinese was my listening comprehension. And just like really getting more and more familiar with how the language sounds. The better your listening is, the better you'll be able to discern what's the right and wrong way to say something. By really learning to listen, you'll sound a lot more smooth and natural when you speak. All right, let's talk about my next point, environment. So you may be saying, oh, but Jared, I'm not in China. I don't have the proper environment to learn Chinese. I did not have an environment either when I first started learning Chinese. So basically what I did was find my own way to create this Chinese learning environment. Here are a few things that I did to create an environment. Enroll in a Chinese class. The first one, and probably the most obvious one, is enroll in a Chinese class. I'm not gonna say too much about this. It's definitely a good option for those who are just starting to learn Chinese, but I don't really count this as a really great environment because the teacher speaks really slowly. How these Chinese language teachers speak won't really prepare you well for the real world Chinese. So the next one is another really obvious one, watching movies, TV shows, etc. This is another super simple way to learn Chinese, and I feel like it's still quite underrated actually. There's a lot of people learning Chinese and they still don't do this. I think by watching Chinese shows, movies, etc., your listening will get a lot better and your vocabulary will improve a lot. You'll also start to pick up how to speak more naturally and sound more like a local. Learning Chinese songs. This one is one of my personal favorites. Not only will you improve your Chinese pronunciation, you'll also improve your reading as well. Because whether you're at home or at a karaoke singing, you have to follow along with the lyrics, and that will help a lot. Watching videos on social media platforms. Another one that is similar to movies and music is watching videos on YouTube or Chinese social media platforms like Bilibili and Weibo. There is so much content out there. You just gotta find out what you're interested in. Best of all, it's free. Hobbies. This one is especially useful if you're in a Chinese-speaking country or place. If you feel like it's really hard to make new Chinese friends, or just find you don't really connect with them because of cultural differences or whatever, one great way to break that barrier is to just find something you like to do. You don't have any hobbies? Let's just say you like drinking. 来，走一个。 Okay, cool. Just find a really Chinese bar and make friends there. You like video games? Okay, cool. Go to the internet cafe then. For me personally, I love playing basketball, and so that's how I made a lot of my friends in China. All I did was grab my basketball, go to the basketball court, and play with other people. Because of this, I had the opportunity to speak Chinese and create that environment that I needed. I know these are just a few examples, but by doing things you like to do in a Chinese-speaking environment, it will really help you a lot, and you may make some new friends as well. Imitate. So once I started to learn to listen and had an environment, I started to try and imitate others. One people really tend to do when learning a new language is use their mother tongue to learn the new language. When learning Chinese, try and throw away your mother language. Like, start from zero. For me, it would probably be like turning off my English switch. As if you can't speak any languages now. Do your best not to use your mother tongue's way of thinking to create your own language, because what you're learning is already a language. Since the beginning, I've always tried to pay close attention to how native speakers talk and copy them. Listen closely to their accent and try and imitate them. Even when you're watching a movie, you can just repeat what they say in the movie to learn to sound like them. Learning to imitate how others speak will really help you sound more native. Be open to correction. One thing that can be really intimidating is being open to correction. Or when people start critiquing your pronunciation, tones, grammar, etc. I know you may not like being corrected because it might be embarrassing or just makes you feel straight up bad. I totally get it. But if you're willing to be corrected by your Chinese teachers or friends, whew, this will help you so much, especially with pronunciation and tones. Really listen to why they're correcting you. Don't just be like, okay, I get it. No. If someone is saying something is wrong, then just ask them, how do I improve it? Really try to fix your mistakes. This will help especially with speaking. It really helped me a lot. Another thing, correct yourself. Every time I want to say a word, but I'm not 100% sure how to say it, I'll whip out my phone, open my Chinese dictionary, Pleco, and just see what the tone or pronunciation is before I say it. It will help you so much with your tones and pronunciation, and will help you from having bad habits later on. Change them early. Being open to correction and really listening will help you so much. Time and repetition. Learning a new language is gonna take, you guessed it, time and repetition. Whether you're gonna learn Chinese or any language for that matter, it's gonna take time. Don't be all down on yourself if you don't master Chinese within a few months or a year. I repeat, you won't master Chinese in a year. Those people who say they mastered or are fluent in Chinese after a few months or a year, it's a bunch of baloney. Remember, you gotta be patient. Don't get all flustered if you're not learning as fast as you wanna be. It's gonna take repetition and a lot of time. Learning a language is a never-ending journey. Even now, I'm constantly learning new Chinese words, slang, things about Chinese culture, and just so much more. No matter how good your Chinese is, you'll always be learning new stuff. And that's the beautiful part about it. One last thing I wanna say is learning Chinese is really difficult. You'll have a lot more success if you want it. What I mean by that is your heart really needs to be into it. When I first started, I really wanted to learn Chinese, but I did not have the resources. But because I really wanted it, I found ways to find these resources and create this Chinese learning environment. It doesn't matter how much money you invest into learning a language. If you don't really want to learn, you most likely won't get the best results. So, want it. I know I totally sound like an inspirational speaker right now. So just do it! But I hope you get what I'm trying to say here. So yeah, that's pretty much a very simple version of how I learned Chinese. In some of my future videos, I really want to go more in depth with the points I made today. So yeah, stay tuned. Remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification button down below so that you don't miss out. All right, that is it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace!